Okay, I know this sounds a little woo-woo, so hear me out. I stopped with the bro marketing, with the crazy urgency, hustling, and I went a totally different direction. I said no to all of that noise and all of the shoulds. And instead, I embraced vision boards as a way to create a vision and a goal for my life rather than just pushing and hustling. I used free writing to help me with my strategy, and I used the moon to help me plan out my circles. And I know it might sound like, whoa, but actually, hear me out. It has created a business that I love, and I'm so much more in sync with me and the way that I want to run my life. I'm going to share how this all works. So first off, I said goodbye to the normal, the whole oh, come up with an idea, here's a funnel, let's build this. And while I still use funnels, and I absolutely use them, I am instead guided by my intuition, by that gut instinct, by that idea, and allowing myself the creative juices to flow, my intuition through meditation to come up with this nugget of an idea, and then I build it out from there. So it feels like it's coming from a place of flow rather than hustling and pushing and force. And I found that when my sales are in flow, I'm more aligned and I make more money in the process without it feeling icky and without I'm pushing and it's really alpha energy. Instead, it's like softer feminine energy. In allowing myself to step into these kind of more feminine energy, I am much, much more creative, and that really helps my business and the way that I run it. And so the first thing I do is I really have a morning routine that helps me. And it's not a strict morning routine. It's just I happen to wake up at 5, and so I will meditate and manifest in the space I have before the time that my son wakes up. I've got a full video on that, and I'm going to share it because it's got all the juiciness in there. But what I want to say is that by allowing myself to operate from that place of ease, the day just flows and it's a much better day. I also, along the way that I work, I will also use the moon in order to kind of shape my month. So I'll know that there are certain points in the month where I'm going to be quieter. I use my natural cycle, when my periods are. So I know that when I'm feeling quieter, I want to retreat, I have that capacity where I can be like, I'm gonna cocoon and snuggle and hibernate under a blanket. And then there are other times when I'm out there. So earlier in the week, all I wanted to do was just lie on the sofa under a blanket, and that's what I did. And I allowed myself the space to kind of do that without feeling guilty. And I really wasn't feeling up to, anything much. And instead I did a little baking, and I slept and I meditated. And then it meant the next day I came back with an oomph for creativity. And that's continued into today, where I'm making YouTube videos and I'm really creative. But I have to allow myself the different cycles of how I'm feeling, rather than feeling like, oh, today I've booked in this and that I need to do it. So I'm much more led by my intuition of what's working. And so it's a full moon, and I am usually more creative around a full moon. I'm quite wired, and so I use that energy to get going and be creative and make videos, whereas other times of the month I am much more retreating and in hibernation, and I'll listen to that in the way that works for me. One of the big things that I do once or twice a year is my vision board, and I have a training all about it below. But basically, having a vision board enables me to have that big picture of where I want to go in my life, what I want to achieve, what I want to do, all the things that I've got dreamed of for my son, for my life. And I have this vision, and by having that, creating that, it just enables me to sort of see that in technicolor of where I'm going, where the business is going, what I want to achieve. And I will have that on my phone, I'll have that on my laptop, and I'll be thinking about that. And I use a meditation, I've mentioned this before, by Paul McKenna. It's from the book Power Manifesting, and basically it's a 3-minute meditation, so it's not long, that I will use, and it helps me to ground in that vision, because it basically gets you to think 1 year ahead and then work back 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. So you're sort of seeing how you can plan out your vision in each quarter. And at the same time, I can do this several times a day. So it means that I'm really thinking about that vision of what I want to create, where the business is going, what we have planned. And I'm thinking about that constantly, rather than it just being something where it's like, oh, you make a plan at the start of the year and then it disappears into a drawer. This means that it comes alive and it's part of you and your DNA. I'm a great believer in energy, and using energy to say goodbye to relationships that are no longer working, using energy to bring in new things. And so I will cut cords, energetically cut cords through meditation with people, with business contacts, with relationships that aren't working for me. And so you can say goodbye to those, you can wish them well, but it means that you energetically remove them from your life, from you, and it frees you up. You're not being sucked. Otherwise you can find like people are energy sucks, particularly if you're an empath, and they suck your energy. So if you're free of that energy, you can then replenish yourself and feel more abundant and create the kind of life that you want to live, rather than giving energetically to someone else. So I will do this if there's an issue or something. I'll energetically unhook that person. I will also use Palo Santos to energetically clear my workspace, and it's so liberating. It gives me that kind of feeling that, okay, the boundaries have been set, I can protect my energy, and it means that I am able to, stand in my power and reclaim my voice, the person that I know that I'm meant to be, rather than feeling like there's energy sucks and you're giving away energy to other people. So if you've got toxic energy around you, it can really help you. So if you're struggling in the workplace and it feels toxic, then this is a way to sort of ground in your energy and feel better, more grounded, so that you can give yourself what you need. It's like a little hug to you, and you feel like, yes, I can be more creative, I feel calmer, I feel like my nervous system feels better, and I can breathe, feel calm, and from that I'm going to be more creative, work better. And so I am very much about now trying to bring myself back so I'm in the calmest place possible and I feel good, so the kind of work that I'm creating is easy, it flows. And because it's easy and it flows, I don't have to spend hours on it, it just happens naturally. And there's a synchronicity about it, and a joy and an abundance. And so it means that life becomes easier, work becomes easier. And for me, that's what it's about. It's about creating joy, having the time to be there for my son, having the time to create the kind of life that I want to lead. And so I can have more adventures and more fun. And that's what I really feel that I've been able to create by stepping into my flow, by allowing just these subtle shifts to take place, rather than being in that bro marketing, hustling, striving energy. So if you like this video, I've got an abundance meditation that will help you to connect with your abundant vision, and the vision board workshop, so be sure to check out those. And if you liked it, I'd love you to subscribe. Please click that subscribe button, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye bye.